Good afternoon, everybody. It is I, Captain Melk, here on Charlotte. We are here again to a little bit of a follow up to yesterday or last night's show. It wasn't that long ago. We're still sitting here, probably at just about less than 24 hours between shows, which is a new record, I'd say. But today we are here to talk a little bit more about what the broader implications are for things that have been going on, especially with Twitch. Because I've been, as I say, I like to think about the statements that companies make and let it have a chance to digest and to really kind of think about what they're saying. And like, this was by far, now, of course, I'm referring to Twitch's decision or Twitch's new policy on branded content, their new branded content policy, which they claim was made with their wording was a little bit vague. To be fair, we all know that wasn't. So, like, they clearly had outlined drawings, charts, images with specific amounts to specify what they actually meant. So people going back and saying, well, come back with better wording or walk it back, understand the fact that they didn't make a mistake. They didn't word it vaguely. It was out there in writing with diagrams to show how much you could show what was acceptable, what was not acceptable. There wasn't a miscommunication. This wasn't a misstep. They said what they meant to say. Now, they probably assumed, oh, we're just going to assume that we can drop this and only a few content, there won't be a lot of blowback. Of course there's a lot of blowback. And they made it seem really horrible, because it is really horrible. They didn't make it seem really horrible. What they put out was made it clear that they want to be the only ones that deal with brands and the streamer. So, in other words, they're saying, hey, you guys work for us. Here's the thing. Okay. As an affiliate, and for the most part, most partners don't have a contract or an exclusivity contract with Twitch, which means we're not bound by a contract. They don't employ us. We're not employed at, they can't direct us on what to do. So the fact that they want to now take over our ability to pursue sponsorships, which I was watching Moist Critical, so I'm going to give it where this was. I watched Moist Critical's video this morning, even though it came out yesterday. He said that most sponsors, even when you're doing the sponsored game, they want you to have a QR code, other graphics, other images on the screen while you're doing the stream, so that people can download the game, they can see it, it's visible. I mean, that's what they pay for. They do pay for that visibility. So while I'm no longer going to be able to get a cut of this. Like, the whole point of what Twitch is doing is to say, well, no. And I want to remind you that this is not, again, as I said yesterday, and this is an important fact to remember, this isn't a problem that we as creators made. Twitch has been losing money for a few years now. They're not a profitable company. And they've been losing it because they've been losing advertisers, corporations that are willing to advertise on their platform. And why is that? Well, for a while, let's talk about and this is really kind of what I wanted to discuss today. It goes with Twitch's inability to police its own its own website. Essentially, this is what it comes down to. Most companies want to be able to hit the maximum amount of audience. This is make no mistake of what I'm going to say here is everything to do with a numbers game. It's all statistics and marketing. So they come to let's say right after Justin TV became Twitch. Okay. It's a gaming platform. Gaming appeals to kids through adults. It's a wide open viewer base. Advertisers are going to want to come here to advertise. You might have a company like Kellogg's, for instance, or Coca-Cola, or McDonald's that'll want to buy ad space because you're going to hit a demographic that they like, that they know play games and also buy their products. And they know that if, hey, this person is going to be streaming, or this platform provides these viewers, that we have a solid advertising base, so we can pay you money like they used to pay the television networks for ad time. So that's what happens. Now, what becomes an issue is that people want to make money any way they can donating, and people will take advantage of this. Now, brace yourselves, because I'm going to give you a dose of truth, and I want you to understand that is a dose of truth. It is not said because I disagree with what people are doing. It is said because this is the pure and simple reality. Okay? So let's get this. Let me just clarify that first and foremost. When you had in the beginning people taking advantage of the fact that they could get tips and donations from people and maybe show a little bit more skin, or and I'm not, everybody, I'm saying, and that's what would happen, or people would drink and then you could, a $5 dono, I'll do a shot, things like that. These are things that were around back when I first started almost 10 years ago on Twitch. And yeah, these things were fairly common. Streams like that. If you did a drinking stream, you were going to make bank, but you were also going to get blackout drunk and possibly go to the hospital. That's why Twitch stopped that. But when you're doing things like this, the image that's portrayed to the advertisers is that, well, guess what? You're not such a family-friendly platform, and maybe we'd be better off just spending money on YouTube. Then when you introduce things like hot tub streams, and again, I don't have a problem with hot tub streams, but when you add that content and allow that content, you're going to drive away certain segments of advertisers, and these are people that are making money for. These are people that are basically your bread and butter. And so by selective, and by the way, this goes by how they would selectively enforce things. What I meant by that was somebody like Alinity or Amaranth would do something a little bit sussy on stream, and they would get slapped with a ban. But because Amaranth or Alinity bring in good viewers, that ban was supposed to be a week-long ban, and a warning, hey, don't do this or you'll lose your channel, was overlooked, and usually they would be back within either a day or two, or maybe not even a full day would go by before they came back, because Twitch was more concerned with the amount of viewers a person would bring in. Now, here's why that's a dumb practice. And I'm going to tell you this right off the bat because I think you should see this, but just in case, I want to... So, if I'm looking at an Alinity stream and Alinity's getting... And I'm not picking, I'm just using an example because she's been banned in the past for things. So, if I'm looking at a stream like her and she gets banned, and I'm concerned about, oh my God, 10,000 viewers aren't going to, we're going to lose the revenue from 10,000 viewers that may be subbing. That's maybe a couple of $1,000 over a week's worth of, a ban that maybe would set an example and say, hey, don't do this. You've lost for the streamer, that's big because that impacts their income. And if they realize that, hey, if I do this and I'm getting, hit hard in the wallet, maybe I shouldn't do the things I'm doing. And that's how you set an example. That's how you enforce your policies. The idea is, well, if you violate TOS, you're going to have to pay a price, and this is what could happen. And then people cross line, oops, I messed up, won't happen again. And that's how it's supposed to work. But when you are more concerned with the amount of money that's coming in off of a 10,000 or 10,000 viewer streamer versus the millions of dollars that you're getting from an advertiser who's going to now look at that and say, oh, look, they're not enforcing their own TOS. Things are not going the way it's not as family friendly as we want. We're going to pull out. We want to go to a YouTube or something where at least we have more choice and there's more options. They never did that. Now, in the beginning, in the early days of Twitch, they used YouTube's marketing or Google's marketing system, which was more successful. And then for some reason, they abandoned that. And once they did, that's when they started not being as profitable. So that's when they started going downhill as far as profitability from advertisers. And again, as things got worse and they started, gambling became a thing. And now you have gambling out there, and big gamblers like Trainwrecks, and I'm going to use him as an example, they flaunted it, they abused it, they went above and beyond, and Twitch didn't do anything for a long time. Again, same reason. Oh, yeah, we're losing advertisers. It wasn't until the damage had already been done that they decided to ban the level of gambling and ban certain corporations from doing sponsorships. Well, damage has been done. So we're talking about damage that had been done a couple of years ago, okay? And they have never recovered from that. This is what put them in the situation that they're in. So now desperation moves become desperation moves. What do they try to do? Well, we're going to guarantee our advertisers. The first thing they did was the whole, and this came out somewhere around like within the last year, early, I would say probably about a year ago. Their whole, well, now we're gonna introduce this new ad revenue split. Hang on one second. Yes, they say that they're going to do this whole ad revenue split, and now they create this new ad policy where everybody can't do the things. Now, if I want to make money, they're going to give me a certain amount of ads, okay, that I can run. And I have to run X amount of ads per hour as somebody that wants to participate in the ad revenue program. And that may be 6 ads per hour. That may be 2 ads per hour. But it forces me to run a certain amount of ads every hour and now that does something pretty major, okay? That's forcing people. So this is, you may say, well, that's just for the streamers to make money. And no. Here's the thing. This is why it's a sinister plot. And this is why I say corporations are not your friend. The idea behind this is to get people to do one of two things. Either you buy Twitch Turbo, which allows you to watch whatever channel you want without ads. We'll come back to Twitch Turbo in a moment. Or you subscribe to the channel, which means that you're subscribing to the channel. Oh, by the way, we've also reduced everybody's income. So it's a 50-50 split with everybody. If you had a contract before, once your contract runs out, you're going to be 50-50 split. So now they're taking a bigger cut from their partners and their affiliates. And now the affiliates always had to pay that, but now they're taking a bigger cut from their partners. And now they're also saying, by the way, we're going to ruin the viewer experience. So we force the viewers to buy subs or buy Twitch Turbo. Either way, put money into our pocket. Now, they ideally want you to spend money on Twitch Turbo. And they really know that people are switching to Twitch Turbo because it's cheaper. So now they raised that just a few weeks ago. Raised the price on Twitch Turbo. This may be within the last 2 weeks from, I believe it was $7.99 to $11.99. That's a $4 increase. on something that they are entirely making money off of. And that's how they get you. Oh my God, what if we, now we need to get more money. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the viewer pay more money, or they can sub to every channel they want. Now a sub is $5 a month. If you're a fan of that streamer, if you like the content that they create, maybe you'll sub at tier 2 or tier 3. It's still a 50% split with the creator and Twitch. So they're still getting money out of you and more money. And this is the problem. Okay? This is the problem. The problem is, hey, we want money. We're going to force you to do this so that we get more money. Now, because they have lost all of the ad revenue that they were getting, or the advertising revenue that they were getting from the lucrative marketing deals when they were using Google, when they were enforcing things, now that's all gone. That's dwindled down significantly to the point where they're not turning a profit. So now these are all desperation moves to try to claw back some income into their pockets, to start saying, hey, we're making money, we're doing well. But already with the ad revenue split, okay, so just for an example, you might get a deal if you're, and this is why it's not even worth it. Let's say you're 1,000 viewer concurrent streamer, okay? They might offer you, okay, run X amount, let's say 4 ads per hour, and you have to stream, let's say 80 hours per month to make $300. It's not even per view but now it's just, this is what you stream, this is how much you have to stream, and this is how many ads you have to run per hour, and when you meet this, you'll get this payout. No. That destroys the viewer experience. That also is essentially saying, by the way, now you work in a sweatshop. You have to do this to meet this, and you're not getting paid. So for $300, I'm killing myself per week, because an 80-hour week is 80 hours a month is still a lot of time to stream. Okay? And yeah, it's because now some of you may say, oh, well, you're on stream. You may play for 4 hours. Every stream has about an hour or two of additional prep work or more if you're going to be doing things. Now, that's just if I'm going on to game. If I'm working on a collab, that may take multiple hours and scheduling and a lot of work, because what people who don't stream, what viewers don't stream don't realize is that this is a production. Okay? There are a lot of things to be considered. Sadly, the only way to get visibility and discovery is to broadcast that you're going live on multiple platforms, which is why you may see streamers say, oh, I forgot to post on Instagram, I forgot to post on TikTok, I forgot to put out a tweet saying I'm going live, and they have to do this. They may also need to go on Discord and post these things. So there's a lot to do before you go live to guarantee that somebody at least shows up if you want to make some of the numbers that you want to make. So this is another part of the problem. And as you could see, if you've watched your favorite streamers talk on Twitter or on their Discords, you might hear some of them say, I'm exhausted, I'm frazzled, I'm tired, I am burnt out, my mental health is in the dumpster. And I've seen this within the last week. I can say I've seen probably at least 20 creators post that either they're stopping streaming, they're on a break, they're taking a hiatus, or they're just entirely retiring from streaming because it's too much stress. And this is partially because Twitch has made it so much more difficult to do things, and has made the experience on Twitch as a whole less enticing for both the viewer and the creator. So now we get to the current situation, the current drama, which we've all heard about. And it's essentially, if this goes through, and I wanna really just drive home the point. If this goes through, okay, what's going to happen is they will have killed the platform. Now, I don't think they're going to change because, let's be fair, the CEO of the company is ancient, clearly out of touch with the stream, and doesn't care. I mean, if you look at the CEOs of most companies, you're going to find that they live in a world that isn't like the world the rest of us live in. You know, they live in that ivory tower somewhere where they're untouchable, and no decision they make is ever going to be wrong. And that's a load of bullshit, because eventually most companies get this philosophy of being too big to fail. Oh, we're too big to fail. Twitch has been dominant for over 10 years. We're the dominant streaming platform. We'll just force people to do what they want to. And now there was so much backlash and so much hate, and moreover, the complete erosion of trust in the company. So I don't think that this is going to be something that we're going to have to wait to see. Again, like I said last night, hey, let's get the popcorn out and watch as the sinking ship goes under. Because what's going to happen here is that already today, some large streamers, and I literally, this has been going on since last night, but there are a ton of large streamers that have already said, yep, we are going to be going on YouTube today to do some test streams on YouTube and figure this out. And we're talking about, like some of their mid to higher level viewer creators that are doing this there. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, so basically the whole hubbub here is that, just to TLDR it for you there, Knack. So Twitch made an announcement yesterday that they were basically cutting off the streamer's ability to... They were severely hampering the streamer's ability to find sponsorships on their own. And they were doing everything they could to basically tell streamers, no, fuck you. We're not going to support what you're doing. So this is what happened. So this is where we are. And now, and we're going to do what we want. And then they got blowback from every streamer out there, because this doesn't just affect partners, it affects everybody. And now they're like, oh, by the way, this is what's going on. And, so they were surprised. So now a lot of streamers, and I'm not just, there were plenty of streamers all across the board yesterday that are like, well, time to go look at YouTube or Rumble or Kick. And, again, people people aren't just doing this because they love Twitch. And I think this is the problem with a lot of companies, because here's the thing. And I've said this before. Now, we talked about this in terms of Activision Blizzard in the past. We've talked about it in terms of Electronic Arts. We've talked about this in terms of Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. Corporations exist to make money for their investors. That is how capitalism works. And there's nothing wrong with a business trying to make money. How corporations wind up getting into situations where now this is a situation where, if this was let's say a big publicly traded company that had, like, you would see the stock price today would be at an all-time low, or like at least half of what it was. This is like a Hasbro IP. We're going to fuck over. This is the Wizards of the Coast Dungeons & Dragons OGL scandal, where, oh, look, our stock price is over 100. Oh, look, our stock price is down around $50. Wow. This is where you realize that the people at the top of these corporations need to be replaced every so often, because clearly they lose touch and they have lost control over their company. Like, they're not producing. So now this is a panic. you have to understand, Hasbro can course correct. It will take some time. EA can course correct. And they have. From the whole Star Wars Battlefront 2 loot box controversy to where they are now, they've done a complete... they've done a 180. They've come around. They've fixed things. There's a lot of things that have been fixed, and they're producing good games again. Now, when you look at things like, again, EA, Activision Blizzard is kind of a little bit of a different animal at the moment because of the merger, and it looks like everybody, including the FTC, which is the American company, which is the American governmental body that's looking to have approved this. The only one that's a holdout is Britain, and that may not matter anyway. So, yeah, Activision Blizzard is likely to be merged with Microsoft. That's likely to go through. And so we can't really say that that's necessarily a course correction. What's up, RPG? It is more of a... that is a different situation. That's not a course correction. We're replacing the devil, aka Bobby Kotick, who is essentially now on a PR campaign to say, hey, I'm not that bad of a guy, because when the merger happens, he's going to be out of a job. Now, while he will get a golden parachute, aka will be given a wonderful severance package that will, make even God blush. Okay. He wants to have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm not a bad CEO, and so somebody else will pick him up and continue to pay him millions and millions of dollars a year. So that's what he's doing right now. Bobby Kotick is kind of like the Rumpelstiltskin of businessmen. Okay, he's just an evil bastard. He's a little gnome, and but at least with Bobby Kotick, you know what you're getting. None of this bullshit. He's there to make money for the investors. He wears it on his sleeve. Yeah, he did there was a puff piece done about him in Vanity Fair, and let's be honest, we know that they weren't going to do a puff piece about that man in any gaming publication because everybody hates him. But of course they're going to do it in Vanity Fair, where the only people that read it are the elites, the quote-unquote elites, the rich, the well-to-do. Oh, poor Bobby. Oh, he's not a bad guy. He just wants to salvage whatever he can of his reputation before he gets let into the wild again. That, not a big, that's funny. We can laugh at that. We all know it. He knows it. But yeah, it's not surprising. But to go at again, I'm going to say this once again to you. Corporations are not your friends. If you're sitting there beating a drum for a corporation, you're a fucking moron. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You're just a fucking moron. If you think, oh well, I'm gonna suck, I'm gonna suck off Twitch and I'll do everything. No, you're not. Twitch isn't gonna do anything for you. Twitch doesn't give a shit about you. It became supremely clear yesterday that Twitch doesn't give a shit about you. And for the first time, I will tell you why. I'm going to tell you something that is where the stance comes from. Again, when we watched the Asman video yesterday, when his reaction to this, Asman never is like, oh, boycott this, boycott. Asman. And I want to point out why, because there's another thing I want to touch on, because Moist brought this up again too, and it's super important to reinforce this. Asman was like, everybody from large streamers to small streamers should fucking boycott Twitch, should look at going elsewhere, because they're trying to they are killing their company. They're no longer trying to kill their company. They are succeeding in killing their company. I've never seen a company do a better job at killing itself than Twitch is right now. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah, Google and YouTube have done some ham-fisted things in the past, but it's largely been because, we have to refine our algorithm. Twitter is because it was brought by somebody who didn't really take it seriously. Okay, so the difference is Elon Musk ran his mouth, then got stuck and was told, "Oh, by the way, you made that offer. Well, now we're going to hold you to it." Then he got fucking. So everything that's been done is kind of like hate fucking. Like he's hate fucking Twitter, right? That's what Elon Musk is doing. Like he's hate fucking Twitter. He doesn't love it. He got sucked into it because he ran his mouth and then got called on his bluff, and they made him hold to it. So now they're in a hate fuck relationship. So everything that's going on with Twitter, well, look, for all the doom and gloom, Twitter's still around. Yeah, he is hate fucking. No, I know you're not arguing. I'm just saying it's a little bit of a different situation. This isn't a situation where Elon was clearly trying to destroy. Legitimately, Twitter was bloated. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat that either. Twitter was bloated. There were a lot of people that were actually not doing anything there. So yes, part of what he did was necessary for the health of the company overall. At certain points, if you have 4 people doing something that legitimately one person could do, you're suffering from bloat. You're losing money by having that many people there. I've owned a business, so I know how this goes. It's going to suck for people to hear that, but unless you own a business or you've been involved in the running of a business, these are the decisions you have to make. If somebody's not doing something, or if you're wasting money on something that's not making, you're literally pissing money away, and you're losing money for the company, and that could overall affect the health of the company long term. So there are things that he did that legitimately, like thinning out the company, doing things like that, had to be done. However, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. There were things that he did like that invalidated, like, oh, people have organizations. Yes, you're chasing you're chasing the money away when you take away their verified status, and you're opening up to a lot of things, and that came out to bite him in the ass too. Now it's Twitter Blue for a blue thing that gives you whatever. It's a bunch of bullshit. I don't think, again, remember, his main cash cow, the place where he wants to focus all of his attention on is SpaceX. Okay, he built Tesla, he built SpaceX. Those were his kind of babies, and that's where he wants to focus his attention. His attention is on SpaceX, and I'm not gonna lie, like I don't like the man, or I don't like his politics and things like that. That doesn't change the fact that he legitimately built probably the best space platform out there. And if anybody can do it, it's clearly his company, SpaceX. I mean, there is no two ways about it. It's successful. They're great. But, yeah. Well, okay, so here's the deal. Microsoft, now, when we go back to switch gears, so your question, how long before Microsoft starts closing Blizzard games? No. Microsoft, if anything, will do... So first of all, you have to realize that Activision Blizzard has done enough to Activision primarily has done more to, like, less with the IPs that it has than anybody else. Microsoft wants Activision because of their IPs. It wants it for 2 reasons, okay? It wants King because that gives them an entire mobile game division that's intact, that they can then, because believe it or not, King is the real reason that Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard. That mobile market, that mobile money is a majority of the profits for Activision Blizzard. It's a majority. Anytime you're talking about mobile games, that is a majority of the profits that's generated in video games. Mobile gaming makes up over 70% of all games income across the world, across the entire video game market. So don't kid yourself. That's why they want that. Now they have that, or they will have that, and that is going to be a cash cow. People are sitting there thinking it's the Sony thing. Let me tell you something. PlayStation Sony can do whatever it wants. Just remember this. PlayStation counts its profitability in the billions, the tens of billions per year. Microsoft in trillions. It is a scale of difference, of volume, that is, it's like, no matter what, Sony can wave their flags around at Xbox, all their little swords around at Xbox all they want to. Xbox doesn't give a shit. Okay? It's not about that. They can run everything through the ground, and that's why Sony's so... You may see the president, the CEO of PlayStation be like, yeah, we'll take him to task. don't forget one thing. Again, for all of these console fanboys out there, I'm going to say this. Don't forget that the reason we have exclusivity in the first place is because your beloved Sony is the first one to do that. And they abuse that and exploit exclusivity more than any other company out there. So get fucked. No, again, Nintendo, people are like, well, Nintendo is surely a good company. Nintendo, if you look at them the wrong way, they're sending their lawyers who are like fucking snipers after you. So forget about Nintendo being a good company either. Again, all corporations are out for their own good. They don't give a shit about you. You could die tomorrow. The only thing, they won't give a shit. And that's the honest to God truth. So don't be like, oh, such corporation is a good thing. Microsoft, with as far as Blizzard goes, Microsoft will do a couple of things that I see happening. They want the Blizzard titles. So now they got World of Warcraft. They got Diablo, which are probably, at the moment, Blizzard's two most successful titles. Because Blizzard, Activision managed to kill Overwatch because, we don't have any esports because we did away with that. Oh, and we don't have any sequel anymore. So you all just paid for just a slightly upgraded... you didn't pay for it because it's free, but now we killed Overwatch 1 because for no reason. We walked everything back. Yeah, you're going to get the PvE content, but it's not going to be as sweeping as it was, and yeah, we can't do anything. Why? Because I'm sure there were management issues, and I'm sure it was largely Activision's fault for mismanaging that project. You may see another StarCraft eventually come out. That would be nice. You may see them do things, bring back Heroes of the Storm. You may see them do other things with other IPs and develop new IPs. Because, yes, there's a survival IP in development right now. But you may see, I'm sure that Microsoft is going to want to see that happen. Now, Microsoft learned a harsh lesson just about a month ago with Redfall. They were like, oh, we'll let Bethesda kind of do their thing and manage it. We don't want to micromanage things. And they released the abomination that is Redfall. And technically speaking now, that's a first-party title for Microsoft. That was an utter disaster. Panned critically, is one of the worst games ever made. And Phil Spencer went on, the CEO of Microsoft, or Xbox, went on and said, hey, I'm embarrassed about how this game came out. I need to do better. We need to do better. And there were even devs at I forget the name of the actual studios that did it, the sub-studios over there, were like, hey, we were hoping Microsoft would actually cancel this project. That says something. Because, again, you're taking the people who did... Prey and Dishonored, two fantastic games, right? Two fantastic franchises, and telling them to make a live service game. And obviously that didn't go well. It's like when you took BioWare and was like, hey, make Anthem, and we're not going to give you any other directions. So, what will happen? Microsoft has now learned a lesson, and they know that they need some system sellers. Bringing Blizzard on, Activision Blizzard, you have Call of Duty, which is a system seller. You have all of the Blizzard line of products, which again is a system seller. And here's the kicker, and I don't think anybody, because I'm just gonna finish up with this. All right. People are like, well, they're not gonna go exclusive on Sony. Of course they're not gonna exclusive on Sony, but they're also gonna cut Sony out. And here's the best part of that. Sony's gonna be like, oh, we're winning. Meanwhile, they're gonna have to pay licensing fees to Microsoft to get some of the titles. So that's Microsoft giving the middle finger to Sony. And yes, if you want to know which side I'm gonna root for, I'm always gonna have a little bit of. I'm always gonna be amused anytime Sony still has to kind of take it up the butt. Because it's just, I hate exclusivity, and they're the ones who are like the standard bearers for exclusivity in video games. So it's always nice to see that get stuck to them a little bit. knowing that whatever big titles that they want, they're going to have to pay licensing fees, pretty hefty licensing fees to Microsoft, just puts a little bit of a smile on my face. So that also means Nintendo will have to do that too if they want like Diablo to come on the Switch. So it means also Nintendo might actually have to pony up and actually put out some good hardware for once. And by good hardware, I mean powerful hardware, not the joke that is the Switch compared to anything else on the market. So, back to Twitch. The other thing, and this is the important thing now, because Twitch likes to do a lot of big events on there. So let's bring esports tournaments gone as of July 1st. These will be gone because, as Moist Critical pointed out, the tournaments have to run sponsored ads and sponsored marketing on their streams or on their broadcasts, because that's part of the deal. You're now looking at like Mountain Dew and Coke and other places putting ads on because they've invested in these esports tourneys, and now they won't be allowed to stream them on Twitch. That there is a nail in the coffin for Twitch. The other thing is, again, all of your major video game manufacturers, your development companies, Digital Extremes, Squaresoft, or Square Enix, Ubisoft, Games Workshop, even not a video game, but they do simulcasts. All of these simulcasts, they are not protected. Only nonprofits are. They are not protected from this, so their channels will be banned, and they can't simulcast. Just because they're not partnered or not affiliates, now it applies to everybody. So now they can't simulcast. And again, I just want to remind you that if you want to opt out of your affiliateship or your partnership, the minimum it will cost you is $25. It may cost more, by the way. I want you to understand that it may cost more. But to back out or to get rid of that, you will have to pay a fee to them. It is called an exit fee. And it is bullshit. So let us just getting rid of it. And by the way, when they talk about advertising, let me just remind Twitch, because again, the way they've worded their document, the way they've applied things, I feel like it's important for me to remind you all of one major thing. Anytime you play a video game, okay, on stream, you are advertising for that company. You may not be getting paid for it, but you are advertising for a company. So if I play Diablo 4 later, I am advertising for Blizzard. Technically speaking, none of the game streams should be allowed. Now, of course, they won't be able to. But the way they've written their document, their new policy, they've successfully taken a nail, a bunch of nails, hammered them into the coffin, and then lit the coffin on fire and thrown it off a cliff, because that's what they've just done with their company. So I just want to point that out while we're sitting here talking about this, because again, I'm not somebody I'm not somebody that's going to be like, oh, I may not be the biggest streamer in the world. I may not be the most energetic or entertaining streamer in the world, but I know a bit about the industry because I've been around it a long enough time. And I will say this, there are people that know me and know that I've been around. So they understand that what I'm talking about makes sense. Now, I'm not going to make this a big thing. So here's the thing. What do I have? What should you do about this as a streamer? Because I know quite a few of you that are watching stream. You put out content, you stream. And you're probably as concerned as I am about, well, where do we go from here? If this all sounds doom and gloom, what do we do? So, while I don't agree with how Kick is run, there is Kick, there is Rumble. These are other streaming platforms that are available out there that are gaining market share. YouTube is still the granddaddy of them all. It is older than Twitch. It has been around forever at this point, technologically speaking. And to be honest, if you've already got a YouTube channel, which, let's be fair, anybody that goes into content creation these days, you have a stream channel, you have your YouTube channel, you have your TikTok, you have your Twitter, you have your Instagram. Maybe, I don't know if people still... Maybe you have a Hive, maybe you have some sort of other, Twitter's falling apart and you open another social media, but you have multiple outputs. Maybe you have a Patreon, maybe you have a Ko-Fi, maybe you have an OnlyFarmers account. There are things that you can do to diversify. And Jesse Cox said it the best yesterday. Diversify, diversify, diversify. Like anything else, if this is what you want to do, if content creation is where you want to head and you want to be successful, well, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice from Doro44. Because Doro was very kind to explain this. Now, he's primarily a Genshin content creator, but also is somebody that went from as he said it, I went from 20 viewers concurrently to sitting at over 1,000 on average now. He says YouTube Shorts, short form content is what drove people to his channel. I agree with that. I mean, it's not just obviously me saying that done holy in water, but somebody like that's successful, absolutely. But I can see that works because when I go on YouTube, more often than not, I fall down the YouTube short hole and watch a lot of stuff and find channels I didn't even know existed. And it's great because 30 seconds, maybe a minute, it's got enough to keep my engagement, keep me engaged the entire time through. I watch it, and that's great. Maybe I'll subscribe to the channel. I'll watch some of the longer content. Remember, also, the magic numbers for YouTube, providing you're not doing like a podcast or something, is 7 minutes for easily digestible content. You don't want to go over the attention span of the potential viewer. 10 minutes if you have a little bit of longer form. And then, of course, if you're doing something that is more niche and where you're going to get views, but then you can kind of really the sky's the limit. Podcasts, generally between a half hour and an hour, maybe 2 hours, I've seen people will watch. So, that's how it goes. But diversify your content. If you're going to do multiple things, so let's say I'm going to do this, right? So we do the talk show, and we do some streams, we do content like this, that goes on a YouTube channel, primer. If I'm going to do a lot of mini painting and focus on hobby stuff, I might open up a second YouTube channel and put that on my main links page. So, I want this content, cool. I want this content, cool. That also helps with the YouTube algorithm. That's kind of how you got to work the YouTube algorithm. So, keep that in mind if you're thinking about doing certain things for your channel and how you want to do that. So, I definitely recommend YouTube because it's tried and true. We know it's there. We know it's been there. It is a mainstay in the internet. So, again, also, don't panic about Twitter. Twitter's not going anywhere. If Twitter was going to go somewhere, it would have happened months and months ago. It is what it is. It's still a useful tool. If you are somebody that finds you're doom scrolling, uninstall it on your phone and use it use it only when you go live and stuff. Try to limit your use to it if that's something that you feel like it's degrading your mental wellness. So legit, that's the best I have. I really wanted to get on and talk about this stuff today because it is valid. It's something that needs to be out there. And I think when you're sitting there thinking about oh my God, I really want to stream again. I'm not saying throw out your, close your Twitch accounts and do it, but just maybe start shifting away from Twitch as your primary. Look, if Twitch wants to use us the way they want, then we should use them the same way they want. When there's drops available, now, to be honest, I don't know how often that's going to be the case. If they fuck over the video game companies, the companies are going to be like, fuck you then. Why am I going over to you if I can't have my own channel to do what I want? So let's be fair. Make no mistake, this is going to be an interesting shit show to watch. But I really want to say we have to, consider streaming more on YouTube or other platforms. Whatever you go to, make sure you let your viewers and your audience know. Let them know on social media what you're doing. Just be real with people. Let them know what's going on. And don't be shy to send a message to Twitch being like, hey, fuck you, buddy. I don't like what you're doing. I'm going somewhere else to do this. Do what you got. Remember, in this world, the one who's going to take the best care of you is you. Nobody else is going to do it is going to care for you as much as you got to care for yourself. I hate to say this and sound like a cynic or negative, but the honest to God truth is you got to take, if you see something out there, you got to go for it, and you got to take it and take control of the situation on your own. Don't hope that somebody else is going to do it. Do it for yourself. Claw your way up and find your success, find your happiness. You got to make that shit on your own. Other people will help you, but you got to do it first. Oh, okay, RPG, no problem. Oh, by the way, yeah, let me do a shout out for RPG. I meant to do this earlier, but I was on a rant. Guys, if you don't know RPG Player 34, please go follow RPG. RPG does a lot of Genshin streams, does also some variety streams. Really wonderful, supportive, and really awesome human being and friend. Go follow him. Great streamer, great content creator. You won't regret that. But yeah, legitimately, I want you to know, it's not doom and gloom out there. Right now, Twitch is out as rough. And again, like I said, Twitch has become a mainstay in terms of streaming, but they're not on a good path leadership-wise. And the decisions that they've been making have been showing a lot of signs of desperation. All right, it's not that, it is desperation that is clearly coming out. So that's a warning sign that the company may not be around as a viable company for much longer. This particular decision is a very bad decision. And it's not, I don't like it for personal. No, it's just, it's not how the course correction, we got to remember, they are now trying to patch up a sinking ship that was damaged long ago. And they just can't do it. It's too late. And what they could now, is it possible to course correct? Again, once you've damaged the trust of a majority of your creator, I don't know. Had this not happened, and I have to qualify my next statement, had this not happened, had they not issued that, and the question was, what could Twitch do to turn itself around? It is give the creators more tools. If you go with the resource that's at your disposal, which is your creators, and you empower them, they are going to produce because they will have more of a vested interest. See, that's the whole thing. That's the whole theory behind profit sharing or giving your employees stock benefits. It's now they're invested in the company. They're invested in seeing the company. So the theory is they're going to work harder. If you empower your streamers and your content creators by giving them great deals and allowing them to get deals on their own to maximize their profitability, they're going to flourish, and they're going to help. In turn, you're going to flourish. But you also have to be not afraid to make the hard calls. There's a bad actor in the group, doesn't matter if they have 10,000 concurrent viewers or not, out of here. You're going to get banned. You got to hit them in the wallet, and occasionally got to get people, hey, that's why companies have HR. You got to be able to weed the bad actors out and be like, nope, you're gone. That's how you stay on top. That's how you get the situation done. This is called learning, and Twitch hasn't done this. They catered to the wrong demographic and drove away the big money, and now we're paying for it. So it is what it is. Unfortunately, now the only thing we can do is wait and see what their response is to the feedback. Although I can tell you, I wouldn't be surprised today to see a lot more people live on YouTube and a lot more people live on Kick and Rumble. So I already know from reading through my tweets, I have my tweets up on the next screen, because you never know when something's going to break. You never know when something's going to break. And I mean, I think what's going to happen here is, again, like I said, we're going to see a lot of people switch over. I already know, like, one person I watched, it's a fairly big streamer and a voice actor, it's fairly popular on the platform, Sayu, will be doing a YouTube stream later. I mean, it's just going to happen. And I'm going to be testing the waters with that. In fact, today, we're actually recording this so that I can edit down a couple of things. And we can publish the podcast actually without having to go through Twitch's dumbass video producing system. So yeah, that being said, everybody, you know, I hate to really, you know, it's situations like this where, like, I hate to be like, oh, doom and gloom. But the fact of the matter is, like, this isn't me. This is them. They made this. They made this situation. I would, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're looking to do content like this, it's that simple. You see something drop, it's newsworthy. If it's something that you want to talk about it, but do it within the relevant time frame. Don't, like, wait a week or things like that. Jump on it. And there are things like this that are worth talking about. One, I always try to be informative. You guys know that. I try to bring you news when it's relevant to all of us. Sometimes it's video game related and things like that. So yeah. As far as it goes, I am putting together a review of Diablo 4. We'll do that live. I want to say probably tomorrow. And this week we'll actually do a proper debut for the new Cheryl, and you see on screen here. So there is some new stuff coming out. I'm working on some graphics and things like that. And I am waiting for a few people to get back. I know Ghoul Mommy is away till like the 8th of July. So she's still going to be away for like a month, doing her vacation before she returns to us in the States. So I'm looking forward to her return because I want to pick her brain about some artwork and things like that. So, yeah, those are the things I'm looking forward to. And, you know, for those of you out in the Pacific Northwest, I now get to experience what you guys experience pretty much every year with the fire haze. We're getting that from like fucking Nova Scotia. It's unbelievable. It's like 1,000 miles away. And we're getting it down here, and it's like, wow, bad. So last night, there was a picture that came out. It looked like the apocalypse had set in, because it was like an orange reddish hue because of this filtered sunlight through the smoke over one of the cityscapes in Jersey. And it was like, ooh, wow, this is bad. And it is horrible out right now. Actually, the particulates are really high. So I am hanging out inside. Hey, Jakatsu, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, so like just to switch gears, I will talk a little bit now. Now I'm kind of done with the Twitch now. The reason I'm recording this is so I can edit it and put things on, but like legitimately. So what else is going on? So what bothered me about this yesterday is just seeing, like, to me, I'm not. Yeah, I'm an affiliate. So the whole Twitch thing does affect me too. But at the same point, like I have a setup for YouTube ready to go, and legit, it's the same thing we have. It's just switching over where it points to for YouTube. You know, it's not that hard to change OBS up. Then And so I want to actually talk to you about why I like, say, YouTube, because, okay, so when I do a stream on YouTube, right, and I run the stream, it automatically gets published to YouTube. I don't have to do anything else. Maybe I'll create a thumbnail for it, which takes maybe, if I put a lot of work into it, which I should, maybe a half hour or so to get a good thumbnail, put it out and talk about what I want to talk about. But that's it. Like, the video's there, it's going to be there. I change the thumbnail around, drop a little bit of blurb in telling you what we talked about that, and that video is up, it's published, it's good to go. I don't have to do anything to it. The best part about it is YouTube has their built-in editing, so I could generate short form content to put up on YouTube Shorts. If I said something funny, or there was a crazy thing that happened, or like I died in a funny way in a game, great. Oh, wait, Mel, what about if you do? Well, I can point this stream to different channels. So if I'm going to be doing a mini painting stream like we're going to be doing for Pride Month, because I am streaming for the Fabulous Marines again this month. Fabulous Marines is it's a thing that's founded by Zambies and Giggling Geekette and a few other people in the community, mini painting community. A lot of people get together. Some of your favorite mini painting and hobbyist streamers and content creators will get together. We'll put out a bunch of stuff, raise money for Trevor Foundation, which, let's be honest, now more than ever, if you are a member of the LGBTQ community, pretty much we're under attack. So, for those of you that don't know, yes, I am a male. I stream under a female VTuber because I believe in gender fluid. I'm gender fluid. I don't care. I guess I technically qualify as pansexual because I just, if I find you attractive, I find you attractive. I don't care if you're male or female, it doesn't matter to me. And what matters is the kind of person you are. And if I think, like hanging out with you will, makes me happy and makes you happy, then why not? I think people should just be fucking happy, right? It's got nothing to do with anything else. It's other than just being able to be with who you want to be with and be happy to live your life out. That's it. Maybe I want to be with multiple people. Maybe multiple people want to be with me. I don't know. But I'm just saying you should have the ability to do that. And I think that and Trevor Project is an amazing organization that helps, people that need the help with that are struggling with things, to find resources, to get the mental help they need, the support they need. So I want to, I love doing that. It's a cause I believe in. And yeah, I love doing that. Plus we get to paint something cool, something fun, and we get to paint something in the spirit of a good cause. But what do I do for that? Like, oh my God, I'm going to stream on YouTube for that. Where do I go? I have 2 channels. The YouTube algorithm is going to fuck me if I stream on my podcast channel. Not hard. I just point it towards my other channel, the Veil Craftworks channel, and bam, we're good to go. That's what it specializes. That's what it's there for. That's why I have all the YouTube channels I have. And that's why there are those not LinkedIn. That's a different thing. But there's those link trees and the card.co's and all of that. My best recommendation to you is, if you're a content creator, card.co. Make a page for yourself. Put all your social media links on one of those, whatever they are. I use Linktree, but you can use whatever. There's plenty of them out there. Just find one that you like, that looks good, that fits your style. Put all your links in one area. And then, honestly, if you really want to, for sponsorship, use a card.co website. Make one up for you and put down, if you stream, all the platforms you stream on. If you're somebody that also does 18 plus content, put that up there so that people can have the choice to visit your vanilla content and your adult content, and do what you got to do. I think that as a content creator, you can do whatever you want, as long as you do it from genuine on who you are. Okay, so that's the thing that sets people aside. I am more comfortable, as you all know by now, doing streams like this. And by that, I mean, I get to interact with you. I get to talk to you when you come in. We have a back and forth. We chill. A lot of people have told me, it's kind of it's something cool to put on in the background while I'm doing stuff at work. I can listen to you. I can, and I'm glad. If you're enjoying it and I'm making your day a little bit brighter, that's good. That's what I think most of the people that I know or I'm friends with in content creation care about. Other things that make it that have motivated me. Well, obviously having this model and now being able to do the things that I want to do. And by the way, I'm leaving that How to Lose Viewers and Drive Away Creators book up there for Twitch. As every time we do a Twitch stream, that's going to be up there because pretty much, not a stream on Twitch, but every time we do a stream talking about Twitch, which I imagine there'll be a few more, that book is going to be up there because like they're at the end of the day, the only thing they're going to be able to do is publish a book like that to try to make back some money to pay the employees that are man, this situation is it's like I was like, hey, I wonder what we could talk about, and then Twitch made that tweet yesterday. I was like, fuck, now I have content for a week. But part of that content legitimately is helping other people out. So advice is you will get some stuff set up. There are a lot of ways to monetize. So if you're worried about things, understand that, like, don't forget that, like, if you have an active or thriving Discord community and you discuss it with your community, and I want to drive this point home. Let you talk to your community. Let them know what's going on. Not everybody will know what's going on. Maybe not everybody has Twitter. Maybe not everybody gives a shit. And a lot of people aren't streamers. Maybe they'll hear about it passingly, but won't really understand it. Tell your community what's going on. Let them know what you're thinking of. If you decide that, hey, maybe I'm going to make subscriptions active on Discord and make a certain thing where, like, we do a specific Discord hangout for Discord subs, cool. But let your community know what's going on. Make sure you're not, like, driving people away by seeming greedy. I say this, always let people know what's going on when you're going to make a change or when you're going to add another kind of service. Because some people will like, this way they know, and they don't just, they're just greedy and money hungry. Now, if your livelihood from Twitch is being threatened, you need to establish other means. And I'm going to tell you, honest to God, like right now, like, you see this backlash too about people using Only Farmers or not so much, Fan House, because Fan House is just kind of like a Dona Walt kind of social media platform. It's like, I'm going to post, not nudes, but I'm going to post some other pictures, other content, we'll call it bonus content up there. But, like, Patreon is a good thing to do. But, like, the other thing that is concerning is, like, maybe you have your links up in your Twitch, and maybe those links, links, or maybe that website that those links link to, maybe have your Only Farmers account, or, isellfeetpics.com on there or whatnot. And Twitch is like, apparently, you're like, well, we're not going to support that anymore, like they did with the OnlyFans thing. Because remember when OnlyFans first came out, Twitch, you were allowed to put it on there, and then all of a sudden you were like, oh no, this is bad, you can't do that. So yeah. And we'll see what happens. But, like, don't be afraid to investigate other things. My best advice to people is, if there's content you want to make, go for it. Try it out. Worst case scenario, you don't like doing it, walk away. I do generally tend to feel like, this content creation to me is still a very new. I mean, we're looking at maybe what in YouTube's case for most of the bigger YouTubers, maybe they came around like maybe the late aughts, so like maybe 2007, 2008. You're still looking at an industry that is largely less than 20 years old, and it's still going through its growing pains. And what I can say is that the next streaming platform that comes along will look at Twitch and see where they made the mistakes and hopefully not repeat those mistakes. And again, like, I know a lot of people have said, well, what about Kick? Again, I've said Kick is financed by a company that's a gambling company, an online casino essentially, and they are ran by somebody. One of their organizers is Trainwrecks, and it is a bit of the wild west of streaming. There are like literally almost no rules on that platform, and there's a lot of negativity and a lot of hate on that platform right now. It's like if you're edgy, that's where you kind of go. But people are like the 95-5 split. I don't know how sustainable that is. Like right now, they might have a glut of money on the market, but I don't know like what the plans for sustainability are on there. Because if you think Twitch was an ad-friendly space, I guarantee you Kick isn't going to be one, unless they're like doing all these other, But here's the problem: if you have like Stake.com, they're the company that primarily backs them. If you're looking at attracting other gambling ads, it's like. It almost seems like, what do they call that? Where it just seems like self-defeating. There's a word for it. It's escaping me at the moment. But like, you're not going to have a conflict of interest. You're not going to conflict of interest and be like, oh, well, we'll let what is that one? King Bet or whatever. They're not going to they're going to be like, hey, yeah, we're going to take sponsorships to run ads driving people to other gambling sites. It seems a little bit self-defeating. So I don't know what their overall. I honestly don't know what their overall like future looks like, because again, Mixer looked really good when it came out. It was doing really well, but again, it wasn't sustainable in the long run, and within a year it died. So Kick is too new, and again, I don't know anything about Rumble. I don't know who finances Rumble. I don't know the sustainability of Rumble. I don't know their payouts, but they're another viable platform. But again, I think in terms of getting the most bang for your buck, YouTube has all the tools. It's established. And again, like I said, it's easier to make content if you're streaming. Your long form content's already there, and you can always record shorter form content or skits to run on, and small pieces to run on the channel as well. So, like, I highly recommend doing something like that, investigating it, looking into it. And of course, if you know me, you know me on Discord, or you know me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. You got questions, and I can help you. You can always be like, hey, Captain Mel, I have some questions. What do you think? I want to brainstorm a bit. I want to run an idea past you. I can't guarantee that I'll always be able to get back in touch, depending upon obviously volume. But for the most part, yeah, I'll be able to get back in touch with you. So let's talk about overall though. I mean, the games that are coming out. Let's switch gear over to gaming for a little bit here. Obviously, this has been a good year for gaming so far. I'm just saying that we've had a number of good things happen. First of all, MMO wise, the big three have all had some pretty good content. Endwalker has been still solid with the new patches, and of course now that the development cycle for Final Fantasy 16 is largely over, you're getting more content in the patches for 14 now. So yeah, and now we're basically within 6 weeks of finding out what the next expansion, a sneak peek at the next expansion at FanFest is. Let's also not forget that there have been a couple of major releases already, starting with Tears of the Kingdom for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has been a tremendous. It's been the biggest, I think, the best-selling Zelda game of all time, and it's been doing insanely well on streams and on YouTube. There've been a really great amount. There's just been so much good stuff coming out with that game. I think the building aspect to it, and again, I still think it's great. It's like Legend of Zelda, you'd normally be like, I need to use this technique to beat the boss. Now it's like, I feel like it's like Link should be in front of Home Depot because you can just build a contraption to deal with most problems. So I'm not sure if this is the way it was supposed to be done, but it worked. So yeah, like that's actually like really good. Hey, Chris, how are you? Good to see you. But like, yeah, again, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom really like came out, and I would honestly say if it doesn't win Game of the Year at this point, I don't know what will. I know that there's going to be some stiff competition this year because like after Zelda came out, like a couple of weeks later, we're sitting at Diablo 4's release. Diablo 4, largely one of the best-selling games of the Diablo series, has been a lot of fun to play. I've been playing through it off stream. Again, I've been in a lot of pain with my knee, so like sitting for a long period of time and stuff like that, not the best. I've been standing half the time, by the way, while we've been doing this, and I have to continually massage my knee so that it doesn't get locked up. But like that's part of the reason like I hadn't been streaming a lot of Diablo. But Diablo has also been great, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I wanted to watch Uncle Bucket because one, Bucket's a great friend, and I love doing streaming with Bucket. I wanted to support him as he was doing his run to 100 on his hardcore character with Peppy, and I always love watching Bucket and Peppy. And I do love playing with Bucket and Peppy, so hopefully we'll be able to, when we all get into normal, when they get onto normal characters after their hardcore journey is complete successfully. So I'm rooting for them. I'm looking forward to playing and doing stuff together with them again. So that's always fun. And we had a blast, by the way. Bucket, Peppy, Sets, and Liger Zero. And I had a lot of fun playing Warhammer 40k Darktide last week. That was a blast. I know a lot of you guys that showed up enjoyed it. Just having some friends that you can have some goofy fun with, laugh, and then like, you know, the whole bunch of like digital murder, always a good time. And that's entertaining for everybody. I will say I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, Bucket is in the supporter creator program. So if you want to get the Twitch drops, or if you gift him 2 subs, you get the horse mount. If you watch him for, I think it's 6 hours total, you get both drops for the week. For the month, there are going to be a total of, I think we're 4 weeks. There's going to be a total of a bunch of, like, there's going to be a different drop each week. So, you know, you can still watch your favorite Diablo creator right now. That is in the program. It'll say that they have drops enabled or that they're in a supporter creator program. You can watch them. Again, it's 3 hours to get, so 6 hours total to get both drops. Just letting you know. And you can gift 2 subs to get the horse. Overall, I will say this with Diablo 4. Just a little thing. People have asked about the store. The store is cosmetics. I haven't seen anything else. The Battle Pass doesn't come out till the first season, which is still about 7 or 8 weeks away. So yeah, like I don't really, even what they've said of the store, I'm not like at the Battle Pass. I'm not really like, you don't need any of that. Like, it's flashy gear. It's all it is like cosmetics, and it's not cheap cosmetics. It's basically the same pricing that they're using on their Overwatch skins. So like $20 for a skin is a little steep if you ask me. Some of them are a little bit less, but like you're still paying between $15 and $20 for skin, and it's like, okay. I don't mind throwing a bone, but the game is already expensive as it is. So like, by the way, yeah, no, you don't really need to buy the digital deluxe edition. Just buy the basic edition at this point. The only reason that you would have bought the digital deluxe is, it gives you, if you want the battle pass for the first season, it gives you that. But like, or the year, I don't know exactly how many battle passes. You have to forgive me on that. But like, yeah, like you can, if you're just looking to play Diablo and you don't really care about the seasons or things like that, or the battle pass more specifically, just get the base version. But yeah, it is fun. I don't know if this is going to be a game of the year contender, because I still think Tears of the Kingdom is an overall better game with less, but for Diablo, it's the best Diablo since Diablo 2, honestly. And that's saying a lot because Diablo 2 is kind of the standard that all action RPGs have tried to follow since it came out 20-ish years ago. And now let's look at what's coming out. We are like legitimately just about less than 3 weeks away from the launch of Final Fantasy 16, which really is probably the next Game of the Year contender. I mean, it is, and why do I say that with a certain amount of confidence? I'll tell you why. It's put out by Creative Business Unit 3, which is the unit that's behind Final Fantasy 14, which has been, which is a division in Square Enix that has a proven track record of success. So I do think that Final Fantasy 16 is going to be like potentially a very strong Game of the Year contender too. So ultimately, I think it'll probably be between those two games. There are some other games that are coming out. There are some, supposedly we're going to get Starfield this year. Maybe we'll find out this week. I don't know. Or next week. We'll find out soon about that. But again, like I say, these are the things that are out there. I don't know really what is going to like go on just yet. But you know, there are other games that are coming out. I am at the moment, I don't have all of that in front of me. We'll do like a more in-depth deep dive on that maybe tomorrow. But yeah, like there are a lot of things that are coming out. There's a lot of things. I mean, this is a good year for gaming overall. I mean, just on the indie front, Sunhaven is fantastic. If you like Stardew Valley but wanted a little bit more action and questing and things to do with a romance system, this Sunhaven is a good place to go. If you love Disney Dreamlight Valley is out there, and you want to do the same kind of things, those farming sims and those like decorating sims have become huge. Those are two of the better ones that have come out. There's a couple of them. Coral Island's another good one that came out this year. I can't say like there's just been a lot of cool stuff that's come out. A ton of good Metroidvanias. That's kind of like a personal niche. I don't know how many of you are into that, but if you like Metroidvanias, like those side-scrolling, old-school feeling RPGs, action RPGs, yeah, definitely. I have also been doing like we will be streaming more Elden Ring, because watching me play Elden Ring is just watching me make bad decisions and then pay for it with my life in the game. So what could go wrong? I don't take it seriously. I do think it's a fantastic game. I know it's been out for over a year, but that's what makes it fun to go back and play. It's my first playthrough. I'm just having a blast riding a horse and trying not to die when something big shows up, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Always something to see. Final Fantasy 14. We just got the new patch last week, or the week before, and 6.4 has been great. I still have to log in and do my daily grind. My daily grind is not like everybody else. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're gonna run the roulettes?" No. First, I'm gonna go do my. I'm gonna go talk to all of my retainers and make sure I got all the stuff from them. Then I'm going to go to Gold Saucer and do my scratch-offs and see what events are up there, because as long as it's not Leap of Faith, I'm probably going to do it. The only Final Fantasy I ever played was the original on the NES. Yeah, that's a great one. And that one is fantastic. See, Final Fantasy 14 references all of them and has brought back like homages to each of them. So like technically in Shadowbringers there was a reference to the original Warrior of Light from the original Final Fantasy. So there's a lot of things that are drawn upon for this. But like, yeah, and then I go into like after I go to Gold Saucer, I go to my island, Yeah, there's an island in the game, Jakatsu. Did you know that you can go there and farm? I know. It's weird. Uh, but yeah, no, I go to the island, I do my island sanctuary things, and then I'm usually done for the day in 14, and then I just will jump on to Honkai, which just had a new update drop last night for Honkai. We got 1.1. No new story content, but new characters, new banner, some new event that's going on, which is a lot of fun. Honkai's been a great game. I've been enjoying that. Honkai is another game that came out, and it is the game that dethroned Genshin Impact from being the most profitable gacha game. That's not saying much because Genshin Impact is in second place and it's still pulling in $34 million a month. Let that sink in. And so either way, MiHoYo is winning overall. But I'm going to say this. I do think if you are a fan of the turn-based traditional like JRPG style, Honkai is definitely worth a look. You can go entirely free to play on the game. You do not have to spend money on the game. In fact, I had been saving the wishes for up for a couple of weeks now. So I wished for the new character. I was like, well, I'll do a 10 for the new character. And I got her. It was like 3 wishes in, and I got her. And I was like, wow, okay, 5-star. Let's go. Didn't cost anything. Awesome. Give me a second. I have to take this. we're gonna do a little bit of a not a TMI for a moment. That was my therapist, and just calling to check, just check in on something. So I'm good though. I like to try to keep myself mentally de-stressed, which hasn't been too much of a problem. Anyway, but like I was saying, so where did I don't even remember where we were talking about Final Fantasy or something. No, but like Honkai is great. I've been playing Genshin. Like I log into them all once a day, do a couple of things, spend some time in there. I don't ever feel like I'm pressured to, like, if I forget, I forget. But I enjoy the games and I like to go in, and sometimes it's nice. So people are like, why haven't you power leveled in Diablo? Because I'm enjoying my time in the game. I'm not rushing things. I actually leveled up to 50 without actually finishing half of the friggin' main story, because I was like, oh, side quest. Oh, stuff to kill. Oh, there's a public event. Oh, there's a Legion event, which is like a bigger public event. And oh wait, like I've just been. That's how much fun I've been having in the game. So it's like I don't feel pressured. Like, oh, I gotta finish this. Like I felt like to have fun in the game, you don't need to like rush to end game. Like just take your time, enjoy the game, have fun with it. It's been literally like over 10 years since I got a chance to experience a brand new Diablo game. We don't count Immortal. That is a stain on the history of Diablo that I will forever deny is actually a Diablo game. But like legit, it is a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun with it. If you are a fan of action RPGs or a fan of Diablo, I highly recommend checking it out. Again, like I said, don't pay for the deluxe edition if you don't care about like seasonal content, or not seasonal content, but if you don't care about like having access to a battle pass, don't spend the extra money. So like legit, just enjoy it, play games, have fun with the games. Don't get yourself stressed out about the games. Other than that, like I know that there is another. Well, I was looking forward to Blue Protocol, but I'm not sure if that was delayed to next year. That was one that was coming from Bandai Namco. That was their gacha game, which honestly, the animation in it is just phenomenal, and it's like entirely. I'm excited about that. The backgrounds, again, it's another one that felt like you're walking around inside of an anime, which is great. That's what I like. I like to feel like if I'm playing a game and that's what I feel for that type of game, I'm happy with it. But again, like I am thinking about like kind of other things to like looking forward to. I have to wait and see. Bolt Gun just came out. That is a boomer shooter. That is technically speaking, I found out, is a prequel to the original Space Marine game. Bolt Gun is actually a lot of fun. It is a straightforward boomer shooter, so like it feels good to play. It doesn't feel like it's not like hidden difficulty. Like it's straightforward. Just play it, have fun with it, enjoy it. Street Fighter 6 just came out too, which is like just another home run from Capcom. Like Capcom, and I'm also forgetting the remake of Resident Evil 4, which came out like about a month and a half ago, which is also amazing. Like these are games that we will be streaming eventually. I didn't want to jump into Resident Evil 4 right away because everybody and their grandmother was streaming it, and like I just feel like, you know, obviously doing a playthrough of that. Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite all-time favorite games, my favorite Resident Evil game of all time. So yeah, we'll be playing through that. There's some games that I just want to stream. Like, yeah, we will do a Diablo 4 stream again. But like, I'm really mostly just enjoying my time like in games. But like again, I'm this is going to be a good year for games. It's already been a good year for games. I'm looking forward to what's coming out. So Punishing Gray Raven also came out. It's another gacha, Korean one. fantastic too. And again, remember, I'm not playing gacha. I'm not paying for the gacha. I am just getting in there, running around, having fun, because the game systems that they have are actually good games. When I'm looking at a game and I'm thinking, is this going to be? I always make sure the game is fun first. Honkai Star Rail is an old school. It is a throwback to like the old turn-based, like JRPGs that I grew up playing that I love. So that's why I like it, and it's a good game with good writing, good characters. So it's what I expect from MiHoYo. And same thing with Genshin. I love the style of Genshin. Genshin is my PC Zelda game without having to get a Switch, because like literally, yes, it is clearly drawn on in the inspiration from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but then reinvented it, did its own thing. Obviously, if you look at the color palettes, Genshin is far more vibrant, is actually in probably a bigger world by now, and like the environments and the lore, like you can get lost in the Genshin story. You can go entirely free to play on that and just have fun, experience the game. There's no real end game in Genshin. It's just a continuing story. You can then spend your time like gearing up the characters that you want to and doing things. There's a TCG in game that, rather than having another app, they have their TCG game housed within their existing game. So it's kind of unique. You go on your characters, you can do that. If it's something you like doing, I hear it's really good. There are a lot of people I know that really enjoy it. Some people that aren't so crazy about it, but whatever. You don't have to participate if you don't want to. So, I mean, again, there's a lot of stuff out there. I know Hunt Showdown's really good, and they've been putting out some good things. And I know, like everybody else, my jaw dropped when I saw Nicolas Cage was being added into Dead by Daylight. I have no idea in what role, if he's going to be a player character that you're trying to survive with, or it would be really hilarious if Nick Cage was the killer and you could select Nick Cage and he would do like, "Not the bees," or something as he came to kill you. It would be kind of hilarious. But yeah, these are the things. Also, looking forward to the rigging of this character. And so Art Womble designed this character with the whole intention of turning her into a fully rigged VTuber. So right now she's in PNG format, but eventually the way he designed her would be able to be rigged by somebody. So I'm probably going to reach out to Ruby about riggers to talk to her about, like, I know Lychee does Ruby's rigging, and I have to investigate into that, because I would love to like go full live 2D on this character. So yeah, that's coming. That is coming, and that would mean a little bit more. There'd be a couple of other things like hand animations and like other things that I would want Womble to design. Like there would be obviously a fun playing games. We'll have a controller for her, and I'm thinking about, since Necromancer, so the lore, I'll explain to you a little bit about the character now, about Sherilyn. So originally, obviously, Sherilyn is a name that I've used in gaming since like the early 2000s in World of Warcraft. My first character was Melk. That's where my name came from. My second character was Sherilyn. She was originally a paladin and had been with me all throughout my time playing World of Warcraft. Both of those characters, obviously, that's where Melk, or Captain Melk, came from. And then Sherilyn has just been a character I've pretty much played in games all the time. So rather than bring the Sherilyn, because originally the original PNG was based off of was a bust based on my Final Fantasy XIV aura. But I decided I wanted a more unique, or I should say less game branded version of the character. So we have Sherilyn here. And Sherilyn is like essentially me in games. Is essentially so the lore behind her, or the lore part of the lore. I'll give you a little bit of a preview. She's a necromancer, and I was originally started out as a male necromancer who fumbled a spell and turned himself into a demon girl, an Oni girl, sort of. We have slight demon horns. And then decided, wow, shit, I'm hot. I'm not transferring my way back. So yeah, that's the lore. It's not going to be. If you thought I was going to do like a big, serious deep dive into lore, no, that wouldn't happen because that's just not who I am. Like even in IRL, I don't generally take a lot of things, even myself, too seriously, because if you take yourself too seriously, your life is can become very, very stressful. And I'm not about that. So yeah, like just have fun. And I wanted to have a fun character. I want to do like a floating skull as a pet, but like kind of like a cute skull to like be my pet that I can turn on and off when I want it. So yeah, there's some things that still have to be worked on. We're in a kind of like phase. So this is Sherilyn 2.0 as I call this, but I have some graphics that I've designed to put up in the show because this is no longer going to be the Melk show. This is going to be the Sherilyn show. So obviously, yeah, that's not going to take a lot of brain power to redesign that image. It's literally going in, adjusting one layer, and then saving it again. But I'm looking forward to doing that. So yeah. And I will let you all know like what the whole deal is with YouTube. As I get that set up, I will be happy to share that journey with y'all. And we'll go into like the process of getting things up and running on YouTube for streaming and go through that. So if you're interested in doing that and you have a concern because, you know, again, like everybody else, your faith in Twitch as a company has been shaken and you no longer have that trust, well, we'll figure out a way to deal with it. So that being said, I think for today, we are not going to go to, again, with the air quality being as kind of poop as it is, I would like to go and see who we can raid. So we are going to do that. So let's see who's up, who's live, and who is doing something fun. Normally we'd go to Mittens, but Mittens isn't here today. Because Mittens is taking the day to relax and she had a couple of things to do. Let's see who's out there. Maybe we'll go. Oh, you know what? I think we're going to go to... Actually, you know what, guys? We're going to go visit a VTuber. Somebody I started watching the other day, Aurora Maki. Who is doing a move-a-thon. Day 13 on the road home. So she's got like 86 hours left on her thing. I was watching her the other day. She seems really fun. So we're going to go over there. And I hope you all have fun. And again, I will be back tomorrow, actually. We're going to do some more just chatting. Maybe we'll play a game or two. And this weekend, we're going to do... we'll be doing the debut. So I'll be working on some stuff for that. So, yeah. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for joining me. And stay awesome. Oh, wait. No, I guess we're not going there. Actually, come to think of it. Oh, wait. Giggling Geekette's on. You know what? We're going to go over mini painting. Sorry. And we'll go here, and she's fundraising with the Fabulous Marines. Gorgeous. She's one of the founders, and she's really, really also great ASMR content too, and very talented. So let's go. Have a great one. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, I think this blue is gonna be our bounce light.